Protests in Hong Kong are showing signs of diminishing after almost 10 days of pro-democracy demonstrations. Blockades eased near government buildings on Monday, and some schools are reopening. CCTV's Lee Jejun joins us live from the center of the action. And what's the latest?
After a hectic week, tensions between student protesters and the government seemed to ease up on Monday. Formal talks to end the demonstrations may begin by the end of the week. A government representative says the dialogue would be direct with mutual respect, and if any consensus is reached, the government would implement it. The venue of the talks and the specific topics is expected to be worked out later on Tuesday. Meanwhile, protesters are still gathering around government offices. However, the number of demonstrators has fallen sharply. While the protesters allowed government workers to walk through their barricades on Monday morning, several streets through downtown Hong Kong remain barricaded and are blocking vehicle access. Secondary schools in the area reopened on Monday after being closed for the past week. On Tuesday, primary and special schools are expected to reopen. However, with roads still blocked and getting to school may still be a problem. In the TV address on Monday, Beijing-appointed Hong Kong Chief Executive Liang Chun said all protesters, including ones blocking streets, should leave as soon as possible to allow for the restoration of life and social order in the city. Mike.
October 7th, of course, the last day of China's week-long National Day holiday. There are reports that the number of mainland tourists to Hong Kong has really dropped because of these protests. So what's the impact there on Hong Kong tourism?
The impact is huge. National Day holidays usually prompt a huge influx of shoppers from the mainland, but the protest has prevented many from coming. Tourism industry is an important part of Hong Kong's economy. It accounts for almost 5% of its gross domestic product and creates some 250,000 jobs in the retail, catering, and hospitality sectors. So undoubtedly, if the protests continue and last longer, that would bring a big blow to both the city's tourism and economy. This man in purple t-shirt is a restaurant owner. He was asking the protesters to get out of the road.
I got two kids. One is 6 years old. The other one is 3 years old. I need to feed them. Come on. My parents 70 years old. We got family to feed. They don't have family. They're kids. They got parents to feed. And they are...
Mr. Liu's restaurant is located in the bustling Causeway Bay. Here, dishes are welcomed by the locals and mainland tourists. But the continuing protests have cut 80% of his business. In many restaurants in Mong Kok and Tsim Sha Tsui, where the protesters rally, are facing the same situation.
Usually during the National Day holiday, people need to wait for a table. But now very few come. Tourists are scared to be in this area because of the protests. I hope the demonstrators can have a talk with the government and end the standoff as soon as possible.
And it's also the hard days for tourism operators. China Travel Service is the biggest travel agency in Hong Kong. Here at one of its branches, there's no customers at all. The manager said that this could be impossible in normal times.
On October the 6th, mainland tour groups registered to come has gone down 40%. Meanwhile, the number of visitors from Southeast Asia has also reduced a lot. Some countries like Australia, Singapore, and Italy have issued travel warnings. This is definitely a big blow to our industry, especially to the smaller travel agencies. We have to pay rents and salaries. If the situation worsens, I'm afraid some staff members will be let go.
The National Day Golden Week generally draws more than 1 million tourists to Hong Kong, and 2/3 are from mainland. However, tourist arrivals on the first day of the week-long holiday fell by 7% from last year. And as food uncertainty, experts predict the number of mainland tour groups to Hong Kong this year could be halved. And this could cause losses of 100 million Hong Kong dollars, or $13 million per day on Hong Kong's over 200 hotels. Hong Kong is known as a shopping paradise and food heaven for tourists who come from around the world. But the protests here have damaged its image as a safe travel destination and could seriously affect its economy if the tensions drag on. Many here hope the demonstrations will end soon to restore the city's hard-won global reputation. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Lena Jejun joining us from Hong Kong. Thanks so much. And for